To be an elite scorer, you need to simplify your game. Now, I know that sounds crazy. You might think you need ultimate dribble moves and limitless counters, but you actually need to be opposite. You need to simplify your game so therefore you can elevate and scale your ability. Now, I don't want you guys to confuse not being skilled and being simple. Those two are not the same. KD is one of the most skilled players in the NBA, but his game is completely simple. He knows exactly what spots and what shots he is trying to get off, so it makes it really easy for him. I'm Coach Meech, and in this video, we're going to go over 6 different ways on how to score at the 3 different levels, being inside, mid-range, and outside beyond the 3. So the first level of scoring is inside the paint and near the rim. Once we get down here, our first skill we're working on is pivoting. So once you get by your defender and you get into the paint and you pick up the dribble, now you guys need to still be able to make plays. So you might need to turn and pivot away, make a play for your teammate, or even pivot into a shot for yourself. But like we said earlier, when it comes to getting to your spots and knowing what shots you like to get off, if you want to get to the middle, you can get to a jump stop, and then from here, you need to know how to pivot to create a better option for yourself. So if you want to get to a fadeaway, you might want to forward pivot and then turn and fade into your shot. Or if you want to get to a step through, you can pump fake pivot on your inside leg, step through, and then get to that shot there. So you want to make sure you're getting to your spot and you know what your shots are to get off in the paint. One last thing about our pivoting, as you get into the paint on your drive, you do not want to rush or freak out. Just because you're down here and there's a lot of bodies, you want to take your time, because if you get down here and you just rush into a shot, now that's limiting to your options. You want to get down here, come to a jump stop or a stride stop, whatever it is, take your time, maybe do a pump fake, pivot away. You don't have to rush while you're down here in the paint, so you can make a composed decision. The second skill we're diving into to help us finish better down low inside the paint is our dribble pickups. So as we're getting by our initial defender, we tend to run into help side or someone else is sliding over. So as we try to go split, we try to pick up the basketball, and that's when we get the ball stolen. So we have our trouble once we get closer to the basket. When it comes to our dribble pickups, there are several different moves that we can do to split the help side. So if you guys want a full video on each one of those pickups, just comment that down below. In this video, we're just gonna go over 2. So our first pickup is a high pickup. So as we get by our defender, we want to pick the ball up nice and high above our head. A lot of times when we try to split 2 defenders, that help side defender or our initial defender reaches right by our hips, because that's where that ball is, so they're easily able to smack the ball out. So we want to pick the ball up above our head, so now when we split the 2, we can go right and finish right at the hoop. Another reason why we want to pick the ball up nice and high is because it exposes the basketball. So when we go to split, we pick the ball up high, exposes the ball, so when they go to reach, if they hit our hand, now the referee can see that on the baseline or wherever they're at, because we tend to drive into crowded areas and the referee can't see through people. So when we expose the basketball, now they can see it, they can see the fouls, and then we can finish. Our second pickup is a low pickup. Just like our high pickup, we're trying to expose the basketball and avoid the ball getting stolen. So as we're getting by our initial defender, once we get to that help side, we want to pick the ball up low and stop our dribble by our ankle. We don't want to stop the dribble by our knee, because that's still within that same area for their hands to get to. We want to pick up the ball by our ankle. So as we're driving low, we stop the dribble early, pick it up by our ankle, expose the ball on an extended. So now when they go to reach, the referee can see their hands, and we can sweep up and through their arms and get to the finish. It doesn't matter which one you guys really do, whether it's low or high, you just really want to make sure you can split that defense. So as you're driving low, you want to be able to split them, picking the ball up high or picking the ball up low, come into a jump stop, 1-2 step, it doesn't matter. But once you get here, you want to make sure you're under control and you're not rushing. So now if you want to, you can step through and pivot, go to your finish, or you can go through 1-2 step and go right into your finish. For this shot, you're going to get lined up on the lane line right at that last hash mark right above the block. All you're going to do is just roll the ball out to yourself, catch it on the hop, reverse pivot. You're going to jab towards the baseline, drive towards the middle. On that pickup, you want to pick the ball up low, take your 2 steps, then you're getting into your hook shot. You want to make sure you make 5 on both sides. Hey, if at any point in this video you guys are looking to get a little bit more help with your jump shot, just go to the pinned comment down below and get your copy of our ultimate shooting checklist to help you enhance your shooting ability. The next level we'll be working at is the mid-range level, and this is where Kevin Durant does a lot of his work in, and he destroys the defense. Right here in the mid-range is where everybody can get to, whether it's off of a dribble pull-up, a pick and roll, or you can even post up, so everybody can get to this level. That's why it's so important. Let's say we got the ball off of a post up and we're in the mid-range level. We need to be able to create space for ourselves on our jump shot. So let's say we're running up the line, getting into our jump shot. We want to be able to fade away into our shot, not a fall away kind of like Kobe Bryant, but a controlled fade away. We're slightly creating a little bit of space from that defender. So as we're getting into our jump shot, we're fading just slightly to create that space between us and them, and then we can knock that shot down. The second skill we're diving into within the mid-range is being able to make sure we can elevate on our jump shot. So as we're getting into our 1 to 2 dribble pull-up, we want to make sure we can create as much vertical space as we can when we go to elevate, because we have a defender probably on our side or the help side's coming over. So we need to make sure we can create space with our shot vertically so we can rise up over them and pull that shot. It does not matter whether you're getting into a controlled fadeaway or a regular 1 dribble pull-up, you still want to make sure you're doing everything at the same speed and not rushing. So if you're getting into your 2 dribble pull-up, you don't want to do things out of order and too fast and rush and throw your shot off just because you're trying to speed and go downhill. You want to make sure you have the correct order of things when you're getting into your pull-up. So if you're going to the left, you still want to make sure you follow the right principles of letting the ball lead, and then you can elevate on your jump shot and pull up, even if you're still kind of drifting to the side, whether it's left or to the right, to create that space. It does not matter, but you make sure you don't want to rush. For our next shot, we're going to start right in the middle, a step above the rim, then just going to roll the ball out to the middle of the free throw line towards the nail. As you're running into it, you want to catch, turn, and pivot, and then raise into your shot. You want to make sure you elevate, and you have to control that slight drift that's going to happen because you're running away from the hoop. You got to make 5 turning both ways. So 1 turning over your left shoulder, 1 turning over your right shoulder. Our third level of scoring is beyond the 3. This is super important because now we stretch the defense when we can score behind the 3-point line, and now that makes it easier to score once we get inside the paint. One huge skill we need to make sure we lock down when it comes to scoring beyond the 3 is having quick and efficient footwork. So it doesn't matter which footwork it is, but can you perform it fast and efficient? So let's say you're coming off a down screen, can you come to a 1-2 step stop and then be able to get into your shot quickly? Doesn't matter what the defense is doing, or can you get into a hop off the same type of pass or same type of action? If you watch KD, like we said, he gets to his spots and his shots, but he always has perfect footwork no matter what it is that he's doing, whether it's off of a catch and shoot in transition or he's doing his famous hezzy pull-up, getting into his shot. His footwork is always on point. So you want to make sure it doesn't matter how fast you're going into it. If you're going super fast, you can still get into your footwork efficiently, or even if you're trying to change your pace, you still have smooth footwork getting into your shot. The next skill we want to dive into when it comes to being beyond the 3 is not being fazed by any type of closeout. So whenever you catch the ball and that defender's closing out, you want to be able to pump fake, go to the side, get into your shot, or even be able to catch, raise up, and shoot over the top of that defender, even with them closing out hard. You're never more open than when you first catch the basketball. So this is when you need to be your most confident and your most poised at the same time. So when that defender is running out at you, you need to be able to make a play. So it's a pump fake, they fly by, like we said, get to the side, or even catch and immediately make a rip and then get by them. A lot of you guys struggle playing off the triple threat when you first catch it is because you guys don't know how to read the defense early and make that primary read. So when you first catch it, or actually before you catch it, you're just standing and just watching the ball swing and you're not paying attention to the defense. When you catch it, you got to know where the defense is at and where they're running from, so you know what shot you can get to. So like we said, being an elite scorer, you got to know your shots and your spots. So if you catch it in the corner and that defense is running out, you got to know, okay, I like to get to my side step 3. So from there, you got to be paying attention and watching what the defense is doing and reading that space. Our last shot we're going to work on shooting beyond the 3 is we're going to get all the way to the corner at half court, and we're going to drive as fast as we can with the ball in your outside hand. You're going to work on stopping as quick as you can, coming to a 1-2 step stop, rising into your jump shot. You wanna make 5 on both sides, 5 on the left and 5 on the right. Our next drill, we're going to combine all 3 of the ones that we just did, but we're gonna make sure we make 2 in a row before we move on to the next one. So you're gonna do 2 in a row coming up the lane line, and then 2 in a row turning over a certain side of your shoulder, then 2 in a row on a certain side of the floor. You wanna make sure your goal is 6 in a row before you move on to the next side of the floor.